what's up ladies and gentlemen, JJ Prime here, back with another video. And today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers, the Last Knight Voyager class, Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots himself, oh yes. And here he is in his lovely Western Star truck mode, and I think this is my favorite truck mode of all Optimus Primes out there. Now, there is an issue with this figure, that this section right here, it doesn't really tab in properly at this side, so trying to tab this in together, and sometimes it just pushes itself out, but it's okay, it's alright. But it's still a nice looking truck mode, so you can see the detail on the front of the truck. You get nice sewer paint on the front grille, got the trim of metallic blue paint, which is nice. Got the tiny little Autobot symbol molded in right there. You got the nice blue flames and the red flames as well. You got the black windows as well. Got nice sewer paint on this top part right here, and you got the Autobot symbols on each side. And you got the silver on the gas cans, which is pretty cool. I'm not really a big fan of these smokestacks because they're done in this unpainted gray plastic, and I wish they were done in silver. So, and also the trailer hitch, I wish it was done in a more silver and shiny paint. But I did take a red Sharpie and just, you know, colored in the tail lights red because it's supposed to be red. So yeah, and no paint on the rims, unfortunately. But you can see on the wheels there are little Autobot symbols right there on the wheels, which is pretty cool. So in total, he has actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Autobot symbols. So you can't go, there's no such thing as too much Autobot symbols. So yeah, that is pretty cool that he has a lot of Autobot symbols. So, and of course, he can roll as well. Rolls very smoothly, which is pretty cool. So we're going to bring in some comparisons here. So first up, we have Lockdown right here. Yes, I know. I put a Decepticon symbol on Lockdown because he is a Decepticon. I don't care if Lockdown is not a Decepticon or not. If he's a Decepticon, sure, I'll put a Decepticon symbol on Lockdown. I don't care. He's a Decepticon to me. But if he's not a Decepticon to you, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but one of the Studio Series boxes actually fell down, and it's okay, it's alright. The poster is still standing, okay? It's still upright. But anyway, so yeah, Lockdown is a Decepticon to me, in my opinion. He's a Decepticon, so there you have that. Here he is with the Mr. Galvatron, and the scale between Galvatron and Optimus Prime is not a bad scale, I will say. I think that's a good scale, you know, for the two of them, which is pretty cool, the two truck modes. And I have no idea why Megatron wants to become a truck. Maybe he wants to become like his nemesis, Optimus Prime. Maybe he wants to be his, you know, twin brother, I guess. Probably. I don't know what's happening here, but they are nice looking trucks, in my opinion. They're nice looking trucks. So there you have that. And just one more comparison. Here he is with his G1 Self/Earthrise counterpart. So yeah, there you have that. Now, here's the important question. Can this Prime tow this trailer? Well, let's try. Let's test it out. Okay, let's test it and see if this Prime can tow the Earthrise Optimus Prime's trailers. Let's see. Can this fit into that port? Right there. Hey, it can actually fit. It can actually fit. Yay, he has a trailer right now. Yeah, he can actually pull the trailer. He can rotate around like so. That's actually pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So yeah, that is awesome that this Prime can actually, you know, tow the trailer. But I guess we are pretty much done with the truck mode. So I'm just gonna clap 3 times. Boom! We got the trailer and Earthrise Optimus Prime out of the way. Oh wait, we're not done with the truck mode yet. Ooh, I nearly forgot something. He does come with accessories. Oh yes, he comes with his Sword of Judgment and his mighty shield of protection, and it's a nicely painted shield done in that I think it's an Allspark blue. I guess it's Allspark blue, and yeah, it's a nicely molded shield. It's not 100% screen accurate because it's not supposed to be all blue and dark gray. And you got the sword. I'm not too crazy about the orange blade. It should be silver, and yeah. If Studio Series plans to release a Western Star Optimus Prime truck mode, and it should include more screen accurate accessories, like accurate colors for the shield, accurate colors for the sword as well. So now you can actually store the shield on the truck mode. There is the port right here, the trailer hitch, and there is this post right here. You just take this and just plug that in, just like so. And the sword will just slide into this clip right there. So just slide this in, and there you have your storage in vehicle mode, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And the plastic, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, I think the plastic has some nice metal flake finish, and I do quite like that. I love that. The metal flake finish makes the gives the figure like kind of a sheen to it. So yeah, so we're gonna take out the accessories right now, and we're going to transform this Optimus Prime into his robot mode. So bear with me right here. We're going to transform this into his robot mode. So first thing you want to do is you want to take this roof section right here and just untap this whole section. Just untap all this, untap all that, raise that up like so, and just untap this and bring this panel out, swing this out like so, and just split all this, split all that. And you want to untap this section right here, untap it from the arms like so, and you can take the leg section right here and just swing it out like so, swing that out, and there you have that. So now for the arms, you can actually swing them out right now. Just untap this and just bring this forward, untap, bring it forward, and just bring this back until they tab in, and there you go. So now this panel right here will just clip to the back and just clip that in, flip it back and clip that in, and there you have his arms all done. So now you have to bring down his legs like so, just bring that down and just rotate it 180 at the waist, and just bring down the crotch section right here, split the legs, just rotate it to the forefront so that detail is matching up perfectly. Just rotate it to the front, and there you go. Now swing this back, swing this to the back, and just untap his foot like so, and just rotate it around, just tab that in. And you want to take this front grille section and just untab it and swing this around until it clips into place, and there you go. So now just bring that up, and that will tab in like so. Now the same thing that you want to do on the other side, just swing this around and just flip down the foot like so. Just swing this around, tab that in, and just untap the grille, just swing it around till it clips in, and just rotate it up and just tab that in. There you go. So there you have his legs all done. So now for the backpack, you want to fold in these panels, just fold them in like so, and just swing this to the back, and there are two tabs right here that will tab into those slots right there. So, and also this tab will tab into that slots right there. So just bring this down. If I can tab it in, just bring that down. Now the backpack doesn't really tab in all that well, but it tabs in secure enough. But so just bring up his head, just bring up the chest section right here, and you want to take these little sections right here and just rotate them upwards, and they will just tab into place like so. Like they soft tab into place. So there are like there's a little slot right there. There's a little tab behind this section right here. You have to rotate that up until that tabs in to that slot right there, and just press it in. And I think we are done with his transformation. So there you have the Last Night Voyager class Optimus Prime in his beautiful beautiful robot mode. So I'm gonna raise up the camera a little bit so you can see the full effect right here. So yeah, that's a really cool looking robot mode. Of course, it could have been better if there was more paint on the arms, on the hips, on the feet, but I think there's enough paint already. So there, he has tons of silver paint around him, which looks gorgeous in my opinion. Yeah, that's a really cool design. I think this is my favorite Optimus Prime design from the movies itself. I mean, I still like the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime and the first 3 designs of movie Optimus Prime from the first 3 films. I still like that design, but this one is by far my favorite. He looks like a strong and brave knight of Cybertron. He looks awesome in my opinion. So we're gonna take a closer look at his head sculpt right there. You got a nice strip of silver paint on the head crest, on the mouth plate. You got nice blue for the eyes. The head should be painted with more silver, because if I remember, the head was mostly silver with some, some blue on it. Yeah, it was mostly silver. So that is not screen accurate. So, but the molding is screen accurate. The molding is really nice. But yeah, I mean, the molding of this robot mode is definitely screen accurate, but his arms are not screen accurate, because if you remember in Age of Extinction, he had these 4 arms, but when he got his sword and pulled it out, his arms actually transformed to a more, more knight-ish design. But as you can see, this Prime doesn't have that. So yeah. If Studio Series makes a new mold for this Prime, I think they're gonna do a wonderful job in getting us a screen accurate, design for Optimus Prime from The Last Knight or Age of Extinction, because this design was first seen in Age of Extinction, so that's pretty cool. He does have a little bit of a backpack, but not as much as the Leader class version, because the Leader class version has a whole lot of backpack, including the first edition Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. So at least Hasbro did a fair job in in compacting the backpack even more. So, but I think they will do a better job with the Studio Series version. So yeah, of course you have these little sections peeking out, but it is what it is. So, overall, I think the transformation is pretty clean. I do quite like that. I do like how the legs transformed. I think that's a pretty cool trick, in my opinion. So yeah, he's a nicely done figure, in my opinion. So articulation wise, you have a ball joint at the head. You can look left, look right. You can't really rotate a full 360 because this gets in the way. The collar gets in the way. The shoulders can rotate a full 360. You've got this section right here. On this hinge right here, you can move up and down if you want it to. You can move, the arms can move in and out. He does have a bicep swivel. You got an elbow joint about 90 degrees up bend. No wrist swivel, it's just molded into place. And you got a waist swivel, and legs can move up that far, can move back that far. You can pretty much do the full splits. You can have a thigh swivel as well. He does have a knee joint about under 90 degrees of bend. No ankle tiltage, unfortunately, but the feet can untab and... Oh wait, the feet can untab, that's what they can do, but there's no ankle tiltage on the feet, but unfortunately. And you can actually, move this skirt piece around if you want it to, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, of course, he can wield his weapons, so bring in his shield and his sword, so his sword can actually go into his hand like so. So now we have 2 ports right here. You got 1 port right here and 1 port right there, so you can actually take the shield and plug it into this arm if you want it to, but if you want to be more screen accurate, you have to plug it into this port right there because it was on this arm. So, and you can actually pose this like like he's like shooting with his shield, because his shield is also a gun. So if you remember in Age of Extinction, Optimus Prime brutally killed Harold Attinger. That was his first human victim to get killed off, because humans can be evil, humans can be good. So yeah, Harold Ettinger was obviously an evil human. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you can actually, you know, have that going on there. But the sword can actually store in robot mode. There is a slot right down here and at his backpack. So you just slide this down and just, you know, store that there. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you can actually store the sword in robot mode. But I just want him to have his sword, you know, for a while. But if I want to display him, I always, you know, store the sword at the back. You know, that's me, because I want to have more space in my shelves. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can have that going on. So we're going to bring in some comparisons right here. First up, for the comparisons, we have Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. So you can see how they scale with one another. And then we got the Galvatron, and of course I'm gonna bring in Lockdown, so you can see how the Decepticons scale with Optimus Prime himself. And we're gonna bring in some extra comparisons here to make it special. So we're gonna bring in some Autobots right here. So we're gonna bring in Cogman right here, and he doesn't want to stand on this carpet, unfortunately. Hey! He doesn't want to stand on this carpet because he has no heel spurs. There we go. Can he stand on the carpet? That means he's got to stand. He's got to lean on Optimus Prime a little bit. He needs to lean on Optimus. And if he leans on Optimus, he's going to fall back like so. And there we go. So we're going to bring in Cogman. I'm gonna lean him like so, stay, and we're gonna bring in Autobot Drift. Now Drift has big feet, so he can actually stand on his own. And last but not least, we're gonna bring in the big boy Grimlock. There we go. We got the Grimlock, and you can't see Grimlock unfortunately, so we're gonna raise up the camera a little bit more so you can see how they scale with one another. And I'm not sure if that's the correct scale between Prime and Grimlock, because if you remember in Age of Extinction, Prime was like even shorter, like at his crotch level, almost below his crotch. But it's still a good scale whatsoever. And yeah, we got a nice group of Autobots from the last night, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So maybe I should, you know, maybe I should bring in Optimus, put him right there, and have Cogman just standing like so. And there you have that. There you go. That's a cool looking group of 4 Autobots from the last night. So we only got to we need to review Hound, Crosshairs, Bumblebee, Sculptron, and that is pretty much it. Wait, we need to review Hot Rod as well. So yeah, once we review all the Autobots, we're going to bring in all the last night Autobots, including Dragonstorm, Steelbane, and Skeletron, and have them pose together as a nice group of Autobots. Because I'm going to count the Knights of Cybertron as Autobots because they joined the Autobots in the last night. So who knows? Hey, I don't care. They're all Autobots. So the Knights of Cybertron, they're all Autobots. Every one of them is an Autobot. So yeah, so there you have that. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on Transformers The Last Night Voyager class Optimus Prime. I think Hasbro did a great job on this figure. The transformation is nice and smooth. It's fun to mess with. The robot mode definitely looks gorgeous in my opinion, because there's definitely a lot of silver paint on this figure, which looks beautiful. The vehicle mode definitely looks good. It looks great, except the fact that the smokestacks are not painted in silver, and also the trailer hitch is not painted in silver. And that's the one thing, that's the one major gripe with this figure, is that there's not a lot of paint, but I think there's enough paint on this figure already, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, of course he needs more paint on the hips, on the arms, on the head sculpt, on the feet as well. He needed more of that red paint on his feet because he's supposed to have red paint on his feet. So, it is what it is. The weapons, not too crazy about the orange blade on the sword. The shield is, I mean, it's nicely painted with that all-spark blue, but it could have been better if it was, more metallic paint. More silver, more metallic red, more of the flaming details on the shield. And he's missing one weapon. He's missing his gun. He's missing his machine gun in from Age of Extinction, because he had his gun when they were like evading, doing some evasion, doing evading on KSI when Optimus Prime had his gun and he shoots stuff. He's supposed to have his gun, but he didn't come with his gun, unfortunately. But because his gun was not there in the last night, but it would have been cool if he had his gun. But hey, it is what it is, and it's pretty cool that you can actually have his truck mode tow the trailer from Earthrise Optimus Prime. That's pretty cool that you can actually do that. If you want to anyway. He scales well with Galvatron, with Lockdown. I'm guessing Lockdown should be a little bit taller to scale well with Optimus Prime, but it is what it is. I mean, Lockdown is a deluxe, so you can't get the scale correct every time. So. But overall, this figure makes me happy. He makes me happy. He's fun to mess with. He's a good-looking Optimus Prime. He's my favorite. I think he's my favorite Voyager class Optimus Prime figure of all the Optimus Prime figures I own. So, yeah. I mean, I still love the Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime and the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, but overall, this design is definitely my favorite Optimus Prime design. He looks damn good. He looks so good. He looks so dope. He's super dope. But yeah, now if you don't have this figure yet, I would say try to look online and see if they have this figure. You can check out BigBadToyStore.com for your official Transformers figures if you want to. And if you have this figure already and you're waiting to get some repro labels for this figure to make him more, more screen accurate, more beautiful, you can go over to ToyHacks.com to get your repro labels there. And I'm not sure if they still sell the repro labels for Optimus Prime though, but you can go over to Toy Hacks and check out if you want to. And I will post a link to BigBadToyStore.com and ToyHacks.com down below. Now, for me, I don't get any Toy Hacks repo labels, but maybe in the future I'll probably get some once the COVID-19 is over, and then they can send stuff from the US to my country in Malaysia. But hey, it is what it is. But now, as far as ranking Optimus Prime from a scale of 1 to 10, I think he could. I wish he could deserve a perfect score, but he doesn't deserve a perfect score. He does deserve a very high score, so he deserves an 8.5 out of 10. So I gave him an 8.5 out of 10 because he needs more paint. The sword and the shield needs to be more screen accurate. He needs to have more articulation here and there, like the wrist swivel and the ankle tiltage. He doesn't have any of those, so I wish it could have been better with those articulation. But 8.5 out of 10, it's not a bad score. So well done, Hasbro. Do it again, please. This figure is magnificent. Well done, Hasbro. So, and I think that is pretty much it for today's video. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any future reviews of new upcoming figures and old figures. And hit that notification bell down below so that you can get notified when a new video is up and ready. So, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there you have the Transformers, the Last Knight Voyager class Optimus Prime. And this is JJ Prime signing off. Peace out.